So today we're working on a 2013 Toyota Prius. This has about 170,000 miles on it, and the head gasket actually went out on cylinder 2. Knowing that because it's misfiring cylinder 2, it makes a rattle on startup, which is actually indicative of a head gasket failure, and then the reservoir would constantly keep going down. So I'm replacing the water pump right here. Basically, this one's really tight. It's no longer. So probably what happened is it just overheated due to the lack of performance. The new one, if you can see, just turns way easier. So very easy to get to. You just take off the filter, and then this whole area is exposed. There's 5 bolts. You remove it. You could remove the tire and access it, but I was able to access all the bolts from the top. I didn't drain the coolant from the radiator on that side. I just put a bucket right there. I'm not going to reuse the coolant, but if you wish to, you could use a clean bucket, drain it, and strain it back into the reservoir. We're going to try to save it without doing the head by getting the Blue Devil. It's like a head gasket sealer. If that doesn't work, I've had a few friends that recommended it, saying, hey, it works. I've done it on my car, and it's a must. Like, at least do it before. I know it's probably not the ideal solution to fix it, but it's what I'm going to try first. If I have to do the head, I'll do the head. It's not a big deal, but yeah. So basically, put the new water pump in. Just, clean the surface. If you can kind of see, kind of just wiped it down. Just clean the surface of any like major debris. It doesn't have to be super dry because there's no silicone or anything. So the rubber, the new rubber gasket will seal it up, and that's pretty much good to go. It's a super easy install. So like I said, these are the 5 bolts. It goes in just like that. So that's the top, and then the hardest part would just be getting those the bottom 3 bolts. The top 2 are super easy. So just going in here just like that. Make sure that the seal is pressed in properly, and then that would just kind of wiggle in right in there. Just like that. There you go. So just like that, and then go ahead and just put in the bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Alright, so everything's back together now. The pump, super easy. Now on the 2 bolts, the 2 longer bolts that are gonna come out of the back, I noticed that those had RTV from the factory, so I just put a little bit of RTV on the threads before I put the two bolts on the that go towards the engine, and then torqued it all down. And then this is what I got for the head gasket. So I heard a lot of people that I know that they use this and it actually works successfully. Now, if you look at the instructions, it says to put it, to pour it slowly, and then to put it through. We can't use it through the reservoir, so what I did is I actually ended up putting a funnel and running it through this hose, draining it into the back. It drains back in there, so it's in the engine. I put the car in maintenance mode in order to let the motor idle. With the heater on full blast, you're supposed to let it run for about 50 minutes. So I have the timer going on right now. With the reservoir, I filled up the reservoir with some fresh coolant and just letting it run. And so far, it's been good. No overheating anything. So once this is done, after 50 minutes, it should be good to go. I'm going to take it for a drive after, and hopefully that at least is it's a solve to our problem. And this is supposedly a permanent repair, so we'll see. If it works good, then that's great. If not, then I'll pull the head off and swap it. But the water pumps on these cars super easy. if you have any mechanical experience, you should be able to get it done. I did lift the car with those ramps, so that way I could, put the bucket underneath. You don't necessarily, if you don't really care about the coolant getting on the floor, or if you have a small pan, you don't need to lift the car. You could finish everything from the top. So yeah, that's it. All right, thanks.